sometimes business is about going after new people and tapping into their audiences. But a lot of times, like, you got to keep it with people that you know, that have been supporting you since high school.
I think Issa Rae said, like, cross-networking is important.
Networking across.
Networking is important. So that's dope. So, I mean, that brings us to it. Hey, people, how are you doing? This is the lovely Eden.
Hi.
I always have my glasses on. I'm actually tempted to I'll take them off for a little bit just so y'all can see how smooth my face is. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to Miss Eden. You know what I'm saying? Shine that light on it, shine that light on it, shine that light on it. All right, that's all y'all get. So, we just got finished doing a 30-minute facial. It feels amazing. What was the last thing you did? It was like the Egyptian peel.
Oh, so it was Egyptian rose mask. So it's dope. I'm good for a good mask, you know. So
yo, it felt really good. It was like this very thick and almost like a goo that she like just layered on my face, and then it dried up, and then like she just like just peeled it right off.
You just roll it out.
So, Miss Eden, how are you?
I'm good. Now, I knew this thing was going to be like a written interview, so I'm out here all quiet.
Listen, no, you look beautiful, girl. You look beautiful,
I was like, oh, you about to set up a camera?
I came with the whole joint.
Whole setup.
I came with the whole
shoot,
setup.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
So,
we're here, though. It's cool.
What y'all really, I really wish, and that's on me, I really should have just recorded her giving me the facial, because honestly, that was the real interview. I'm gonna try to recreate some of that magic, y'all. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that was the real interview.
We had a whole chat.
We had a whole chat. When I come back from my peel, then I'll make sure I'll know then. You know what I'm saying? We'll set it up then. So
I keep knocking.
So take me to for context, Eden and I went to the same high school. Shout out to Woodlands.
Shout out to the 914.
Facts. We've been doing a lot of big things. Shout out to 914. Kiss just won a battle against Fab and all, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to 914.
And Kiss is one of my clients too.
Yes, I seen that Instagram video. So did you go to his place or did you come here?
No, I go to him.
Okay.
He's celebrity status, you know.
Listen, you got to pull up on him. I'm here, Kiss. What up, though?
That's my peoples.
You know what I'm
he's
saying?
really good peoples. But okay, let's start off here though. Okay.
What's up?
So first of all, there's a lot of great things that come out of 914, and when people get on, they be trying to deny that they from Greenberg.
Really? Oh no!
Yes.
Don't do that.
And
don't be one of those people. Don't do that.
And it does a disservice because yes, we are a small town, but we are a really great community. We have a lot of people that when I see them on social or wherever they end up on TV, on wherever, it's like I'm so proud. Like I went to high school with this person and this person and this person, and it's really dope to hear about like different people we went to school with that are doing great things. So it's nice that you have this platform that you're creating, because there's a lot of great things coming out of 914.
I absolutely agree. Yes, a lot of people from musicians to dancers, skincare,
entrepreneurs,
earn your leisure,
teachers.
I mean, just talking about Althea, she's an investor. Like, there's so many people, all honestly, with the fashion, Black Love. I don't even want to name people because I don't want to name anybody else. But there's a lot. There's so much talent coming out of 914 that are out there. So yeah, shout out to 914.
Don't be denying.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. The burbs.
Facts, because I ain't ever have you on my show. All right? I'm letting you know right now. Listen, you rep where you from, all right? You rep where you from. Like, I've been living in the Bronx for 10 years. Well, not 10 years, but I've been living in the Bronx for the city area for the better part of 10 years. But people ask me where I'm from Greenberg. I'm from 914. I'm from Westchester. So, take me to high school. You graduate from high school. And what happens to Miss Eden after that?
I was over it. Oh my God, I couldn't wait to get out of high school.
Over it?
Yeah, I was like so fake grown. I was like over being in school, and I'm like, oh, I want to go do this, and I'm just, I sat with Mr. Foy one day.
Okay.
And I was like, Foy,
Shout out to Foy.
I'm dropping out of school. And he was like, you going to do what? And I was like, yeah, so I'm going to drop out senior year. And I was like, but don't worry, Floyd, I got a plan. I'm going to just take my GED, right now. And I'm going to start college in January, which would have been my senior year of high school. I was like, oh, I'm going to just start college this year because I'm just over it. I'm going to pass my GED because that's easy. And he was like, you're going to have a seat. And no, you're not. He whipped out that calendar and I was like, womp, womp, womp. So that was my state of mind right there. Like, I was so over it. I ended up just going to WCC, taking liberal arts, hated that. I dropped out of school.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up finding out that I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is horrible. Like,
and this is, how old are you at this point?
I was 19.
19.
So I ended up having my first child, and after I had her, well, first of all, like, when I was pregnant, I just went into go mode. So I was like, okay, I have a life that's coming into this world. My parents, like, gave my siblings and I a really nice life, and it would be a disservice for me to do less than what they did for me.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to upgrade the genes. So I was like, okay, I got to get to it. Like, what am I going to do? So I really went to school day and night. I was in aesthetic school in the day, and then I was in the city at MUD at night.
Ooh.
And I was in school basically from like 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. for like a good point of time.
Yeah,
I was like,
schedule.
Walking a lot, my whole pregnancy until I was about 36 weeks. I finally had her, and I remember like holding her and looking down at her, and she was looking up at me, and I was looking at her, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I think that my family just has like this entrepreneurial bug.
I know you were telling me that your dad emphasized a lot about ownership, and then he kind of may have secretly wanted to be an entrepreneur.
I think he did. But my dad, like, your parents sacrifice a lot for you. So being an entrepreneur is no easy task, and it takes a lot of faith, but also, like, it takes a lot of stuff. But I think that he didn't get that opportunity because he was like the rock of the family that secured like lot of things, everybody. And just through him being that, I was allowed to, like, in spite of being a single mom, a teen mother, being young, I still was able to spread my wings and even be able to try because of him. So almost like in a way, because of his dedication to his role as a father, he is accomplishing his dreams through me. So
that goes back to what you said earlier about when you first had your daughter, looking at her like, well, I gotta make something because the next generation gotta go further. So absolutely.
I definitely wanted to have a good legacy for my family and just something that you could pass down. So my daughter has definitely been able to see me from a teenager.
Literally.
Grow up and fight for something and work hard at something and wear multiple hats and fail and try again and switch things and fail.
So I'm glad that you bring that up. So failure. I think a lot of people see failure as, what it is. But can you speak about how failing has helped you grow into the woman and the business and an entrepreneur that you are now?
So, okay, so perfect example. I started out 2009. It was a recession, right? But for me, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this.
So she started out in the recession.
I started out in the recession, and I had a location on Mamaroneck Avenue. And I can't say that it was a great success. I was really experimenting, figuring out like myself as a business person and what I needed to do. And it was hard because at the time, and even so now, like people are always like, oh, you have such a baby face and you look so young. And it's like, thanks. But people didn't take me seriously, and people didn't really want to come to me. People weren't spending money on certain things anyway. So being a newbie in this luxury field at the time, like, so for me it was like I don't have the liberty of quitting, because now I have a whole life that's depending on me. My parents are allowing me this opportunity to do this thing, so I have to make it work. So I became a mobile company in 2010, like way back then. So that's 10 years ago.
This is before mobile companies were really
before mobile
big that way
companies,
are now.
you know, were anything. Like I had to be mobile because I had to figure out a way to make it work because there was no such thing as it not working. So I went mobile then, and so what was seen as maybe an obstacle or like, oh, this doesn't work, so now I'm gonna just move on from this space and I'm gonna travel to my clients, became like a blessing in disguise because even now when things have all shut down or businesses are closed, you know, like I was in this position 10 years ago, so all of my stuff was portable. I had this, I had a reputation, you know, so it wasn't a failure. It was maybe what it was just God setting me up for something down the road so that I wouldn't fail. You know, now, you know, so it's about the long run, and I have become a woman of great faith, and I trust in God for a lot of things. And one thing that I've realized even recently is that, like, you know, if you live your life according to certain standards, God doesn't want you to fail. So any no or closed door is not really a no. It's just like we're moving in another direction. And a lot of things that I didn't understand then came to me understanding later on. So now when certain things happen, I don't be tripping about anything. Like if it doesn't work out, it's because it's really not meant to happen at the time or at all. And I might not understand it now, but I've learned, like, I'm not tripping about it. You know?
No, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense because you weren't meant for it now. Like, I can use myself for an example. A lot of people ask me, you know, I've been putting out like a lot of material, a lot of shows. There's people like, why don't you wait and space it out? And for me, it's just like, well, what you're seeing is old to me. Like I've had this vision for a long time. So what you're seeing now is old. Trying to catch up to kind of like my current stuff, but to bring it with how it connects back to what you said before. I may have not been ready to put out this stuff, juggling other things, dealing with life, maybe not being emotionally in the right place, balance or whatever. So, you know, with the whole quarantine shutting down, this was the perfect opportunity. But even if the quarantine thing didn't happen, I feel like just now I'm in the right place to be able to have these kind of conversations with people and to be open and just, you know, to be in the right place for the right things to happen.
Right.
So we said, we were talking about off camera, your company is actually an acronym for your daughter and your name.
Yes, our names combined. I guess just at the time, I really didn't think I was going to have any other children. That's a whole nother story. I was over like, I'm never doing this ever again. Never. So, you know, it's our name combined. So her middle name's actually Milan. So it's our names together. It's like, you know.
Nice.
My tribute to her, like, you know, you want to pass stuff on to your kids, you know, why not like a whole $1 million company?
So I know I asked you this earlier off camera, but what was, I like to call it kind of like an aha moment. I know you said, you know, your father was very much into ownership, but what was there a specific moment that you were just like, skincare, this is what I want to focus on, this is kind of what I want to see improvements in our people?
Yeah, so I'm a very straight to the point person. I'm very results driven, and once I learned about like the internal factors and just realizing that your skin is an organ, and like the only organ that you can see and touch,
and it's the largest one. It's the largest
organ, and that it really has nothing to do with your skin. It's everything else. So it's your stress level, it's your diet, it's your hormones, it's the perfume that you're spraying, it's the cleaners that you're using in your house that you're breathing in. Like all those things are the things that's really affecting you. That it's almost, for me, it was just like the what is the word? Like everything all in one. It just became skin, because when people lay here, like I'm very much an introvert. You know, I can talk, but I won't rock a crowd or a group. Like, you know, I'm a good one-on-one person. So it's like, you know, my clients talk to me about a lot of things. So it's like, I'm like a therapist and they're mine.
Very true, very true. Like I said earlier, after Country of Wisdom, but I really wish that I would have set the camera up from when I lay down and got the facial.
Yeah.
Because that was, I mean, this is a good conversation, but that is where the great conversation happened. I feel like, yeah, I very much felt like it was like a therapy session.
Yeah,
there
we
just...
talk about so much stuff. I learned so much stuff talking, you know, but it's a space where, and I work with a lot of Black women, and one thing when I was first starting out and like starting my website, I was telling you, like, there were no pictures of Black women relaxing.
Yeah.
There's no pictures of Black women getting pampered, getting a facial, like being treated well. You know, you're gonna find a Black person in a you know, carrying children, or a Black man in a construction hat, but you're not gonna find, there weren't at the time a lot of images of Black people relaxing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, even so, people come and they're like, oh, I'm having this issue with my skin, and this is off, and reproductively, and this is happening, and it just comes down to stress.
Yes.
You know, and just lifestyle that's like stressful. So they get to just sit here and I'm just like, relax, you know? So even though, yes, I deal with skin, it doesn't have anything to do with skin, really. It's everything else. So it's nutrition. So we talk a lot about nutrition. I study skin nutrition a lot. So my products are topical and nutrition.
Yes.
For me, it was just everything that I was in one. Like, I love talking to people and like digging deep into stuff. I'm very hands-on. I'm very results-oriented. I love herbs and growing things and juicing. I mean, my name's Eden. I think certain things, I guess it just was spoken over me for 30 years.
Right.
So it just really became like everything that I already was, or that I liked, all in one. So yeah.
No, that's dope. That makes a lot of sense. And like I was saying just earlier, like that's very much what it felt like. It felt like very much a therapy session. And I haven't spoken to you, you know, IRL, real life, in
a decade.
Yeah, maybe like a decade or something like that. So there was a lot of just natural catching up, and you know, she just wanted to know what's going on in my life, and when, you know, vice versa. So that was. I can absolutely see how people come here, lay down, and just kind of
just be chilling,
and just let it go. So what are your from your own products? Well, actually, before we touch on it, you brought up something that I actually want to touch on a little bit. So being a Black woman, being a Black a business owner, there's been a lot of things going on in the news. You know, we all know the world situation with George Floyd and everything. There's been a narrative that Black women don't feel protected. From your experience and, you know, just from your perspective, do you feel like that is the case?
Okay, so
oh yeah.
Question.
Yeah. Oh yeah, come with it.
I think as a culture, unfortunately, we have a lot of healing to do.
Yes.
We have a lot of unlearning to do. We have a lot of growing to do together. And we're not really protected the way that we should be.
Yeah.
We're not valued the way that we should be. We are not honored the way that we should be. And it breaks my heart even now to try to have a great night's sleep knowing that Breonna Taylor's killers and Sandra Bland and you know, like there's so many women that we stand on the front lines of a lot of causes. When a Black man is wrongfully killed or anything, like Black women are there first, like screaming to the top of their lungs, and you know what I'm saying? The women's suffrage movement, Black women were at the forefront of these things. Like there's no plight like a Black woman's. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when white women speak about their rights to wanna walk around in a miniskirt and, you know, whatever, our rights that we're fighting for as women is totally different. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that I think that a lot would change just if we have more support from Black men. You know? because we support black men. You know, we are the real ride or dies of you know, but we're out here dying emotionally, mentally, physically.
Yeah.
And not many people's coming to our rescue. And I think it would be very sad, you know, when a movement rises up when black women are like, nah, we just fighting for us. Because where would everyone else be if we decided that, nah, we're not coming for y'all, because ain't nobody coming for us. So I think, you know, it definitely deserves a fine balance between black women definitely uniting and realizing in a way, not we all we got, but like we got each other's back at least. And so if anybody's shooting in the gym with you, it's your sister, you know. So I think as black women, we definitely need to cut out the catty. And we're not each other's competition.
Can you say that one more time?
We are not each other's competition.
Okay.
You know, so one thing even business-wise is that there could be a lot of shade between somebody who's doing the same thing, but it's almost like if you're doing well in the same space that I'm in, that should be like something to you to say, I'm going in the right direction because she's seeing success in it. So there could be something there for me. It doesn't mean that we have to be competitors. That, you know what I'm saying? And what's for you is for you. And there's so much out there that
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
And also you'd be surprised that somebody who's in that same space as you can be opening doors for you, and you're giving them a hard time.
I agree. Yes.
You know, just go with the flow. You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I think that as black women, we have a lot of work to do together. As a black community, we have work to do together. So I don't know. I don't have the answers for that, to be honest.
No, it's all right. And I was really looking for just your perspective about, you know, I don't think any one person has like all the right answers. I think all of us collectively have
a piece of something.
Have a piece of something. And, you know, I think it's very important, you know, ownership, period. But I definitely think it's very important for your kids, for younger black men and women to see women in position of power. Because often in American society, women are not put in positions of power.
Right.
Or if it is, it's kind of condescending when they are, you know what I'm saying? So I love to always see women in positions of power, being leaders and stuff like that. I think that goes back to being raised by a woman. So it's just like, I'm used to seeing women in power. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So you brought up something earlier as we start to wind down a bit, that skin, all the things that go on with our skin may not really have anything to do with the soap that plays a part into it. But the bigger part of that issue of the largest organ on our body, when you can see it all the time, is what we're eating. And I think eating and your skin absolutely go hand in hand with your behavior. Eating goes hand in hand with a lot of things, but we're talking about skin here. So can you tell the people some of the products that you make, like your sea moss and things like that you make, so they can have a sense of things that they can pair to have a better skin?
So skin is very internal.
Yes.
So the first internal or nutrition product that I launched is called Skin Clarity.
Skin Clarity.
So it's a tea. Catch it. So it's a blend of herbs that actually do a few different things. So some of the herbs are adaptogens, so they help a lot with everything from stress and suppressing cortisol in the body that kicks up a lot of acne and stuff like that.
Yes.
Gut support. Because that's a lot of everything.
Yeah.
It's almost like God gives us everything twice. So like one thing in the spirit, one thing in the natural. So
Yes,
have
yes.
you ever heard even the concept of like we have two hearts, you
Mhm,
know,
mhm.
or like two brains, like your heart has memory and remembers things.
It does.
And thinks, like even in the Bible, you know, whatsoever man thinketh in his heart, like the heart thinks, you know, but your stomach is another kind of like brain,
Yes,
you know,
is.
and so you're communicating and sending a lot of signals and messages and stuff. So like just clarity in your mind and you know, stuffiness in the bowels and going.
Yeah, I mean that stuff. I mean that stuff counts. And also, as just a cheap plug to myself, talking with the heart brain. I actually wrote an article about the heart brain connection and
Oh, that's
how
dope.
our heart actually has like 40,000 neurons separately. So like your heart can literally work independently and separately from your brain.
It's
has
dope.
enough
It's
neurons.
incredible, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I wanted to not put out something that was just like, oh, wash your face. It's like, nah, we need more than that, clearly.
Yes.
You know, everything is like connected, you know, so I definitely am big on like internal support. I do have sea moss and stuff. I mean, but like the tea is great. Sea moss is just one of those things that, you know, we've learned in recent years is incredible.
Yes.
I love a lot of different herbs and I use a lot of minerals in my products. So one thing is like, say for instance, like zinc is something that's healthy in terms of like everything immune wise, and even in COVID it's like they're giving people zinc and it's like seriously. So why wait if we could take this stuff now? But zinc is also one of those amazing things that work exceptionally on your skin. So that's one of those things. One thing that I'm definitely gonna put on the map as a black professional, and they probably gonna be trying to jit me in the future, is vitamin D. We are people of the sun.
Yes.
So why is it that everybody's like, vitamin D, vitamin D? Okay, yeah, vitamin C is great internally and topically, but we are people of the sun.
Yes.
And we are vitamin D deprived. And you'd be surprised how many functions in the body are connected to having that. And being that we don't get that, being that now sunscreen is a big thing, which is important, but we already don't recept the sun the same way because we have our natural protective.
Yes.
And then we're now having sunscreen. So what effects is this happening for black people health-wise in terms of depression, in terms of hormonal things? Like it's all tied in together.
Yes.
So a lot of things that I put in my skincare products, one of my serums has vitamin D, and in new products that I'm launching, there's going to be a ton of vitamin D. But internal stuff too, you know. So a lot of things that I recommend people take internally are in the products. It's a lot of vitamins, but it's twofold thing. You know what I'm saying? Like God gives us things and it's multi-purpose. You know, so.
I absolutely agree. A lot of us don't get enough sun.
Yeah.
Or they think because we have the melanin that it's that, oh, we go outside for a little bit. No, that's actually quite the opposite. Our white counterparts actually need less sun than us. We need more. We need more. Like our melanin, you know, it's I like to compare it to like a suit of armor. Our suit of armor needs more charge. It needs to be charged more. So if we're not in the sun more.
And even as black people, like, oh, don't go out in the sun, you're gonna get dark. It's like, what if that's what's saving your life? What that's doing for your body? Like things that we need. Like there's so much to explore there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot. The sun hits differently in the morning than it does in the afternoon. Specifically this year with the sun. Another cheap plug. Look out for part 2.
Plug it.
Conversation with Blue Pill, because there's been a lot going on with the sun, and this sun's been a lot more potent than it has been in other years. So everybody, you hear like we weren't even talking about that, but this is where the conversation just happens to naturally go.
Look at this.
Get your sun. Get your sun.
So look at this though. I was reading this article and it stood out to me about eating with the sun. So when the sun goes down and your body goes into a restful state, you shouldn't eat anything. Because all night when your body is supposed to be healing itself, right? And healing your skin and acne and fighting off things and stuff, it's busy digesting food. So it doesn't have the energy to heal you, and it's see,
Yes, I absolutely agree. Those
You
things
know,
play
you
into
wake
it.
up in the morning, you got new this and new that, and like what happened here and what's this, and you know, because your body's not getting that time to rest and restore because it's digesting cheeseburgers. I'm guilty too, child.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. We are in a place of we're in a place of learning. I'm glad that people are really starting to. You know, I wish it didn't take a worldwide pandemic, but I'm happy. Like you know, we were talking about this off camera. I'm glad this happened. You know, I'm sorry for anybody that lost out there, that lost
really
lives out there. I'm not happy about that, but I feel like this put health in a forefront. People may like, okay, I need to take my health seriously because if I don't, I can die. Like, I mean, we can all die, but I mean, like, all the things that were pretty preventable. Yeah, if we take care of ourselves, if we eat right, we think better. You know, and when we're thinking better, we're eating right. It goes all in a circle. It goes all in a circle. So to bring this all back to skin, I think not to brag, but I ate a lot of sea moss and all that, and I feel like that's a reason why my skin was very already smooth. But after getting this facial, I can feel my skin. It's so soft. It's so soft and smooth. It's so soft and smooth. So, what is your favorite product to use? And is there anybody out in like the skincare product industry from the past or present that if you had a chance to, you would lay them down and give them a facial?
In the skincare industry?
It can be from the past. It can be from the present.
You know what? I think Elizabeth Arden actually did a great people from Dermalogica. There's a lot of like people's stories that I heard. I in the past years, like just growing as an entrepreneur, I've listened to a ton of like entrepreneur podcasts where they interview founders and give different stories, and it's just really nice hearing Elizabeth Arden's story, how Dermalogica started, and just their different positioning. I like picking people's brains or hearing things like. One thing that I've realized recently is you don't know what you don't know.
Listen, right?
And the more information that you expose yourself to, the less you'll run into what you don't know. So that's somebody that I would like to, or two people that I would definitely like to chat with, or would have liked to chat with. Because now, like, all the Red Door spas are gone. And they replaced it with, like, a little janky thing. Like, so, you know, in my succession plan, we have to write this up. Don't you try it.
Vision board.
Savannah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, but skincare-wise, I love enzymes and nice acids. It sounds scary, but it's not. I don't think that scrubs are for us. Like, we need more than that.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
We need a lot more than that. We need things that are able to penetrate into our skin and loosen things up.
What are those type of things?
So, I really like bromelain. I like a lot of different enzymes. I love lactic acid. I love glycolic. I love PHAs is one of my new things that I like a lot because it's very gentle on the skin and it doesn't irritate as much as other acids do. So that's in one of the new pads that I recently launched because it just works really well. I love acids. Our skin holds things.
Yes.
You know?
Clearly, she was digging a bunch of things out of my.
We were getting busy. Yeah. But our skin holds things, so in order to kind of loosen that up, like our skin is stronger. You know, it holds. But our skin also reacts a lot, so we need a lot of anti-inflammatories. That's something that's huge. Like it's not a wonder why we keloid. You know, it's like a overreaction.
You're saying that it's an overreaction,
right?
Yes.
Same thing when it comes to acne scarring and brown spots. It's just like a localized tan. Like we get in the sun and our skin feels that heat and it says, Mayday, Mayday, let's excrete melanin to protect, right? So when you have a pimple, and I've been wearing like these masks and stuff, and I'm like, oh God, I've been icing this thing here. But it's just a way that it feels inflammation, it feels pain because of the pimple, and it says let's excrete melanin over this area to protect it. And now you have a little black dot, but it was just your protection.
Okay.
You know, it's like a little teeny tiny
more you
pin.
know.
The more you know, right? So we need to get our skin more anti-inflammatory ingredients.
Yes, more anti-inflammatory ingredients.
So it's like if you give your skin good things, it will react different.
I absolutely agree with that. Hearing you say the anti-inflammatory and the enzymes, a lot of the products that I take with, with the sea moss, the gold, the colloidal, whatever, it has a lot of those products in there because, I wash my face, but I don't go out of my way to as much as I should. I don't. That's not my thing, but
listen, the inside is important. The inside's more important. So you got that.
I think that's what's helped.
Yeah,
I think that's what's helped, honestly.
Right?
I think that's what's helped, with better skin, because a lot of the food that I eat has a lot of those products that you're saying.
Yeah, it's a lot. I definitely the anti-inflammatory is what has fascinated me. Just as I always like to explore a lot of the connections between things in the body and the skin, and iridology, like the study of the eyes. Like when you look, people who are really experienced can tell if you're constipated, if you have high blood pressure, if you have
just
a lot of inflammation in the
eyes.
skin, you can look at the eyes and it will show you. So you know how you ever seen old black man and his eyes start to turn blue? That's inflammation in your body. That's why your eyes are turning that color. So it shows everything, how your skin is changing, how it's like how they say the eyes are the window to the soul. It's like this is you can see in the body by looking in someone's eyes.
If you know what you're looking at.
If you know what you're looking at.
It's kind of like a palm reader.
It's incredible, but it can show you can look at someone's eyes and tell if they have really bad acne, if drug deposits in the eyes, if their liver is not functioning properly.
What is that called again?
Iridology.
Iridology.
Incredible. So that's something I definitely am going to be studying into a lot more. Because I'll be like, let me look at your eyes.
Look at your eyes. Look at your eyes. Look at your eyes.
But I can't see what's on me. Because maybe the issue that we're dealing with in the skin is I could just see it if I look in your eyes. Oh, here's the problem.
Listen, you go eat, go do this, stop that, go do that. Come back 2 weeks for a facial. What?
Yeah.
This ain't about a facial for you.
It ain't got nothing to do with that.
This ain't got nothing to do with facial. It's got a lot to do. That's interesting.
Stress.
The more you know. Yes.
Yeah, you can see it in the eyes because of the nervous system. So it's like the stress is sending these signals to your brain, and the brain is depositing them in your eyes because it's right here. So you can see it. It's incredible, right?
Yeah, I would listen. I'm definitely gonna come back for a peel, but when you start to learn more about that, I'm gonna definitely come back for an interview.
I'm gonna be a beast in a few. You just give me some time.
I'm start looking into that myself, so we can have a good conversation. Just not you just teach me. I'm gonna have to look into some else. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. So as we start to wind down, Miss Eden, if there was anywhere in time and place that you can go and give somebody a facial, where would that be?
Oh my God.
Anytime, place, past, present, future.
I would want to have a nice session with one of my grandmothers.
Nice.
The future is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The future is it's gonna be whatever I'm putting out here now. My future is now. It's
yes.
So it's kind of
happening simultaneously.
Yeah, the future doesn't even exist. Everything is just now.
Just now.
That's it. It's only now.
Woo, come with the balls today. Come with the balls today, people.
So I don't have anything I want to sit on Mars, and I don't care about anything. I would love to talk with my grandmothers. My grandparents passed away back to back when I was 8. Gone,
Yeah.
But they were so impressionable then, and I was only like 7, 8, so I could just imagine like the conversations, like if we could have like I could cry thinking about it. If we could just have like an hour together, like what would you tell me? Like what would I learn from you as a woman? Like
can you teach them?
What could I teach them? Like how proud would they be to see like the next generation of women in the family, and what like what could I have learned? What am I missing?
Yes.
Gandhi, tell me what Remember this recipe that you used to make this? Because Mom ain't getting it right.
She ain't getting it.
Write this down, like it would be one of those things, to touch her.
Yeah. That's dope. I like that.
Oh my goodness, that gave me chills to touch her. That's what I would do. Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite movie?
Oh God. Oh my goodness. I don't know. All right. I'm just weird. Like 7 pounds, and everybody's like, oh my God, that sucks. 7 pounds, I think, is a great movie. The Butterfly Effect is a great movie. Like, I like weird, different things, and I just get something out of like, oh my goodness.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Those are movies that I can't say I have favorites, but movies that like stand out to me or that make me think. Like those would be like 2.
Okay. All right. Last question. So, what is your age now, if you don't mind me asking?
30.
30. So, 30-year-old business owner, entrepreneur, empowered woman, 30-year-old Eden goes to talk to Eden of 19 who just found out she's pregnant. What does she say to her?
That took my breath away. I would tell her, life is whatever you make it. And everything that you need, you already are. That's the biggest lesson that I learned.
Say that one more time.
Everything that you need, you already are. Everything that I ever needed, I already had. And the time that it takes you to get to where you're supposed to be is only how much time it takes you to realize that you already have what you need. So if it takes you 10 years to get where you are, it only took you 10 years to figure out that you're the answer to everything that you need. Like you already are. That's what I would tell her. So I think that would have made me dig deeper into myself. It would have made me forgive myself easier. It would have made me love myself harder, believe in myself more. Because I already was it. That's it.
I like that. Well, with that being said, Miss Eden, thank you so much.
This was dope. Oh my goodness. This was incredible.
Yes, thank you for the facial. Thank you for the
this
talk.
This was good.
We will definitely be back.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
this was my favorite interview.
You heard it first, you know what I'm saying? You heard it first.
Thank you.
So to put a button on this,
yes.
I think it is very important. I said this to you off camera that us as a people that we have our own media platforms to tell our own stories from our perspectives and to uplift it. It's something that you said earlier. I asked you about the black woman, and I really feel this way, that us as a society, especially us as black men, we are never going to be able to truly accomplish the things that we want and need to be able to take ourselves up to that next level until we uplift the black woman. We cannot get there until she is uplifted and put into her proper place. So men out there, do your part, put the black woman in her proper place on the throne, because we cannot be the kings unless the queen already has a throne. I am Mr. Richie Moon. This has been Eden. You know that high-level conversations and observations are the new normal.
Yes.
And with that being said, peace, love, and light to y'all. Oh, before we get out there, Eden, please tell the people where they can find you, where they can get your products, and all that good stuff.
You can definitely find me online, Instagram at Miss Eden G. That's MSEDENG. The name of the brand is Eve Milan New York, and that's evemilan.ny. The website, evemilanny.com. And yeah, let's chat. Let's do a skincare consultation or something.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? You see, she got the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? She's out here with the boss today. But with that being said, I am Mr. Richie Moon. That has been Eden.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Y'all take care of yourself. Peace.